It's been a little while since we talked about conservative lunatic radio host Michael Savage, and we often hear distortions and lies from the right. We often even hear dangerous race baiting and allusions to white guilt and white privilege and all of this type of stuff like we did earlier in today's show from Laura Ingraham. But we rarely hear something so despicable that it actually primarily makes you just feel so sorry for those who might hear this and would have such a negative reaction because of where they are in life. And this clip from the Michael Savage program is an example of that. And Michael Savage was talking about his disgust with a tunnel in California being named a memorial tunnel for Robin Williams. And what Michael Savage didn't like is that he claimed it glorified and exposed children to suicide and to hanging oneself. And a veteran with PTSD called into the Michael Savage program. And Lewis, I don't know how else to describe this other than to say that Michael Savage mocked a veteran with PTSD, just making fun of him brutally on the air until he eventually hung up on him. I'm going to play the audio for you. This is one of the most disgusting examples of just the toxic nature of conservative radio. Listen to this.
Think you're the only one who suffers post-traumatic stress disorder? You think you're the only one depressed in America?
Brown shirt? Are you a Nazi brown shirt?
Well, see, right away you can't hold an argument, so you go to Nazism. What am I supposed to do? Cry because you have PTSD?
An argument. Give me a second to make an argument.
Well, I did, but right away you went to Nazism because you couldn't think.
Now, when I developed PTSD when I was 20 years old, and I'm 60 now.
But wait, hold it. You were a veteran at 20?
Pardon?
You were a veteran at 20?
Yeah, I was a veteran at 20.
All right, so what was the PTSD based on? What happened to you that was so bad?
Experiences. I don't need to relive you, but if
Well, wait, you're giving me a sob story here. Tell us what really happened to you. Go ahead. You got the floor of millions of people. Tell us what made you so depressed.
See, you won't let me talk again. You're sensitive.
Oh, I'm letting you talk, but you can't talk. Go ahead. I'm giving you 30 more seconds. What is it that made you so depressed in the military?
Mr. Goebbels, you won't let me.
All right, have a nice day. Go play with your Goebbels.
All right, now the guy did twice refer to Nazism, and I agree that it's not the best tactic to call Michael Savage a Nazi simply because he's asking questions. However, the questions that he's asking, his attitude towards this veteran, his attitude, and it continued for minutes beyond this, towards PTSD and depression, and just ridiculing, almost saying, in my day, men were manly enough not to have PTSD. And of course, what he really means is men were painted into a corner where they didn't feel comfortable, maybe, admitting that they were suffering from these symptoms. I can't really define un-Americanism, Lewis, but I know it when I see it. I know it when I hear it. And this is just a disgusting example of it.
Yeah, also, the man he was talking to was close to the same age as he is.
Yeah.
And so, that argument can be thrown out the window. Every clip we've played by Michael Savage has been pretty despicable. It has been a long time. This, by leaps and bounds, is the most insensitive, despicable filth I've ever heard this piece of crap spew. It is completely outrageous.
I actually know something about Michael Savage that I was told by someone, and I was told, you really can't say this because this isn't a known thing and it could be traced back to me. But I know something about Michael Savage that if I just hope someday I get the go-ahead to tell you a story about Michael Savage that I was told personally by someone who knows exactly what the details of this story are. It would blow you away, and it would probably ruin him, I would even say, Lewis. But hopefully someday, and I don't mean to be deliberately vague, for years I've been just hoping that someday I can tell this story about Michael Savage.